Greetings, Mantua Township. Mayor Bob Zimmerman here with Mayor Message number 34. I'm here with our Superintendent of Schools of the Mantua Pre-K to 6 District here in our community, Christine Trampe. We're here to talk a little bit about a bond referendum, which is a special election that's going to be held on December 9th, Tuesday, December 9th this year. Being put out by the Mantua Township Board of Education. And I couldn't think of anybody better to help educate our residents about this bond referendum and provide insights so that when you as our residents go out to vote on November or December 9th, you are educated and aware of what you're voting for and what the potential tax implications could be. So without further ado, I have some questions that I'd like to present to the superintendent, and hopefully we can get their message out for them. So can you tell our residents, Christine, a little bit more about the mission of this proposed project and about the needs and the wants of the Mantua Township School District that are going to be covered by way of this bond referendum?
Absolutely. And I would just like to thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak with you and the residents here in Mantua Township, many of them are parents or grandparents, for me to be able to share this information. So obviously, we are very proud of our schools. It is a primary reason why many people move to Mantua Township is due to our amazing school system. And it is really the cornerstone of our community. And so in identifying what our needs were, we took a comprehensive look by working with our architect to identify the needs at hand. And to give a bit of a historical perspective, many residents may not be aware that the district went out for referendum back in 2020, January of 2020. And at that time, it was for the same reasons we're going out for referendum now. The leaking roofs, the need for the HVAC system, and the expansion of our preschool program at that time. And unfortunately, although it would have been tax neutral at the time, if it would have passed, it lost by approximately 50 or so votes. And so since 2020 until now, these issues have just increased. The roofs have not been able to be fixed. We're having more leaks. We now have 17 preschool classrooms, which we're so grateful for. We used to have a wait list of 80 to 90 families that didn't have preschool for their children. We've now expanded it to 17 preschool classrooms, so there is no longer a wait list, but that means that things are getting really tight. And we have two primary areas of concern where it comes to the deterioration of the foundation, and that's what we call the castle wing at Sewell School, where 4 of our kindergarten classrooms are, as well as the board office. But it's important to note that this referendum is not simply for the preschool program or the castle wing. We need new HVAC systems in every single school. We need 2 new roofs in 2 of our schools. So the fact that these roofs and these HVAC systems are out of age and out of warranty, it's time for us to replace and make sure that the buildings are safe and secure and healthy for our students and our staff.
Super. Can you give us some idea, Christine, of what the overall cost for this project is and a breakdown? I believe it's $39.1 million.
Right.
And can you explain, there's some funding, state funding that's involved, and can you talk a little bit about what the tax implications would be if the referendum is passed?
Absolutely. So as you said, you're correct. It's $39.1 million. We have $1 million in our capital reserve to contribute towards that. But in order for us to utilize, receive tax money back from the state to offset the cost for the taxpayers, and for us it would be $8.9 million that we'd be able to receive, the only way that can be done is through a vote-approved bond referendum. So in the event that we did not go out for referendum, or if the referendum fails, any of these things that we're talking about doing would require us to pay 100% out of our budget. And for the average homeowner, when we're looking at what the cost would be, right? I'm sure people at home are saying, what does this look like for me? For the average home that's assessed at $311,293, it would look at a tax impact of $28 per month. Now, it's important to note when we're talking about how much is someone going to pay, you really need to look at the assessed value of your home versus what the market value is. So on our website, which we have a referendum website that can be found on our district website, all the way to the right, Referendum 2025, you'll be able to find information regarding a tax impact calculator. You'll be able to type in your information. It'll give you the exact amount. You'll be able to type in your address, and a lot of the information is on there. But it's important to note also that there's many districts in Gloucester County specifically in the past, for example, 5 years, that have gone out in their community and have had a bond referendum vote, and they passed that referendum, and they're getting that tax money back into their own district. West Deptford, I think passed like a $90 million referendum last April. Glassboro just passed on election day. Winona, there's many districts throughout Gloucester County. And there's also a map on our website that shows all the districts in Gloucester County in the past 5 years that have passed the bond referendum to get that tax money back to their taxpayers.
Super. I think you touched on this, but I'll ask the question anyway. So why now, right? As people are already struggling to pay their property taxes, cost of living expenses are up. We went through a reval a couple of years ago, and there are many residents that got hit a little bit hard here in Mantua Township. So we hear that all the time. I hear it all the time as a mayor. It's becoming, unaffordable. So why now? Why is it imperative that this be put out now, 2025?
Right, and that's a great question, and one that I've answered often myself, and I understand the question. So one thing, if our viewers are senior citizens, I just want to remind them that there is a property tax reimbursement called the Senior Freeze, which offers property tax reimbursements for seniors. And there's another second plan called the State New Jersey Property Tax Credit Program, and that goes into effect January 1st of 2026, so upcoming. And there's other current programs, New Jersey $250 senior citizen property tax deduction, or the Anchor. So it's important to note for our senior citizens that aren't aware that there are options out there. And you can find more information regarding these as senior citizens on that referendum website. But why are we doing this now? Because we've reached a critical junction, as I kind of referenced earlier, when it comes to the state of our schools, specifically at Sewell School. We have ongoing structural issues. The floors are sloped. We have ongoing crumbling of our foundation. We have water leaks that are coming in. Last year, we had to replace over 7 HVAC individual systems. That is coming fully out of the district budget. And so we're at a point right now where, in the event that we do not correct these situations, we are going to have to vacate the Castle Wing, which 4 kindergarten classrooms are currently located. And that would, if we don't have an opportunity to put them in another space of our district, as we're now at max capacity, we would have to then move the kindergarten classrooms into the preschool classrooms and take those preschool students and then look to do satellite locations potentially outside of our district. And that's something that we really value, being able to have early childhood all in the same location with our teachers here in the district for the convenience. But also, as I referenced earlier, if we do not pass this referendum, we are standing to lose nearly $9 million of funding from the state that would pay for a lot of these things that we're talking about. So that's the other important part as well. So as I said, we would need to close the Sewell location of the castle. Also, we would need to close the district office, which is located by Barnesboro Inn, and then find another location. Whether we are using the last few empty classrooms at a building or whether or not we need to rent space somewhere else in the township. And again, that would come out of our general budget. So JMT would remain at full capacity and we would have no remaining space. And as we've talked about before, we have a lot of families that are moving out, that are retired and moving out, and it's all new families that are moving in. Our enrollment is continuing to increase, and we're already at max capacity now.
Okay, great. I think you touched on this as well, but I think it's important as well that we reemphasize the fact that this is a school district bond referendum. It doesn't have to do with the township committee, the mayor, or the budget or the funding that I oversee here at the municipal level. However, we're getting calls here at the township. Mainly people are inquisitive. They want to know what's going on. They want to know what the tax implications are going to be. So again, educating the people by way of this video and through other means is very important. You have a bunch of stuff on your website to help this cause.
Yes.
Can you touch on some of those things and how people can get in touch with you, your staff, through your website and contact you rather than contact us here at the township?
Please call the Mantua Township Board of Education. You can call myself directly. We'll be able to answer any questions. So as you said, we do have a website, a referendum website, and on that you can submit questions directly. There's a Q&A email, question and answer email in which you could submit that, and we'll respond to you within usually 24 hours and answer your precise question. But besides that, we've been going out in the community and really speaking to all the residents that we can really kind of get in front of. So, the mayor was gracious enough to invite us to the senior citizen dinner. A few months ago, we were able to speak to over 100 senior citizens. We presented here at the planning committee meeting, the planning land use committee. I've been presenting in front of parents at back to school nights and having tables at parent teacher conferences. But we know there's a lot of residents that don't have students in the district. So what opportunities do you have? Number one, go to our website. There are videos, tour videos on there to show some of the areas of concern. Also, there's photographs and a lot of factual information for you to learn about. We just last night had a virtual forum online where residents could log in and listen to our presentation, as well as ask questions that we answered, as well as my other panelists. That will be up on our website later today. But we also have other opportunities for people to come into our buildings. We are transparent. We want people to know and understand why the Board of Education voted to go out for this referendum right now, and we want people to get in the schools and see what they look like. So some important things that I really want to share is on Monday, November 17th, at Sewell School in the all-purpose room from 6 to 7 p.m., we will have my team of panelists, myself, our architect, our bond counsel, our business administrator, our principals, where we'll be able to present and go over the referendum, answer any questions, and then we're opening up our buildings for live tours. We'll have the Castle and Sewell School open, we'll have the board office open from 7 to 8 that night, as well as the Evergreen Wing. But besides that, I know that one night might not be convenient, so we will have 2 additional days in which the buildings will be open for tours. So Saturday morning of November 22nd from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., Sewell School, the district office over by Barnesboro Inn, as well as Evergreen Wing at JMT will be open for tours. Stop on in, walk through, see the things that we're talking about, as well as Tuesday, December 2nd, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. again will be open for tours. But all the information, we're talking the project list, the tax impact details, the tour schedules, everything is available on mantuaschools.com/referendum 2025. And my contact information is always on there. You can reach out to me. I'll be happy to set up a phone call or meeting and answer any questions or receive any feedback that you may have. Please direct it to myself and the schools and not the township or the mayor.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
And we're kind of running short on time here,
Sure.
So can we close this out? Anything else that you'd like to add?
Yes, absolutely. So I just want to reiterate that the vote is December 9th. The polls are going to be open all day. It'll be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it'll be at the Mantua Township Fire District 1. So if you think of where the Olive Restaurant is, where the post office is, 1 block back, the beautiful fire district with the big red doors, that is where it'll be. And if you are having a mail-in ballot, it must be postmarked by that date. I just want to thank you again for having this opportunity. For those that are listening, please have your voice heard. Please come out and vote. And please go on our website, make it yourself educated and knowledgeable so you understand why the district is going out for a referendum on December 9th.
Thank you so much. I just kind of want to end, we could touch on this, and I think we're both on the same page as far as Mantua really is an extremely desirable place to live and raise our families, and our school districts, both Mantua local and Clearview, are outstanding school district, and I couldn't be more pleased with both educational institutions. It's a big part of why Mantua is desirable and why people come to Mantua. So we need to be cognizant of that. I'm not here to say vote yes or vote no. What I am asking is, as residents, you deserve to have your voice heard. December 9th is the time to do that. Regardless of how you feel, get out and vote. Do your due diligence, educate yourselves, learn about the project, learn about what the tax implications are, and make an educated decision regardless of where you go. It's so imperative that you get out and vote. So I want to thank our residents again for watching, and as always, I want to continue our service here with honesty, integrity, and trustful leadership, and want to thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.